Today is day 232 of the podcast, and I want to begin by reading John 8:38. It says, I speak the things which I've seen with my Father. Therefore, you also do the things which you heard from your father. Jesus is responding to how he activates what he hears. He does what he hears his Father saying. You know, we can fail to activate the promises of God, things we have heard the Lord say, and when we fail to activate what we've heard, we can postpone the promises being fulfilled. When God speaks to our hearts, we must learn to walk by faith. This is our opportunity. He speaks, and then we begin to activate what he speaks and walk by faith, and not just by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7 talks about that. Now in Hebrews chapter 11, verses 13 to 16, it talks about those patriarchs, how they learned, how they saw the promises, and they began to welcome those promises from a distance. That's a skill that we can begin to learn to operate in as well. To welcome someone or something means that we prepare a place for them. We are planning on their appearing or their coming, and it's the same with promises. We must begin to prepare a place for them. So how do you begin to make room for the promises of God in your life, in your plans, in your confession? Are there ways that you are really planning on the opposite by the way you speak and the way you plan and the way you think? We can speak what we're believing instead of rehearsing our lack and begin to make room, just like a mama in preparing for a baby to be born begins to speak as though that baby were coming, begins to plan as though that baby were coming, begins to adjust schedule as though that baby were coming. Well, we get to do that with our faith as well. We can testify to what we've heard and begin to rehearse the goodness of God from what he has promised. The book of Hebrews states that they saw themselves as strangers and exiles on the earth, and they began to live as though they were no longer a part of this culture, but they were a part of a kingdom that was yet unseen. Jesus, in John 18:36, goes so far as to say, my kingdom is not of this world. It's not of this realm. He spoke of the things that he saw that were true according to his Father's kingdom, and they were not yet seen in this realm. So when we've received a promise from God, we're invited to participate in the transfer of that promise from the unseen realm into the seen realm. Transfer it by our faith, and this is being done for the sake of the kingdom. So today's question is there an area of your life where the way that you speak needs to be realigned with the way of your faith, according to your faith? So is there something that needs to be repented from and repented to?